Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That's a spiritual father who has been attacked.
Yeah.
And so you can understand why perhaps he couldn't hold it, but to share those emotional. And in any case, look, anybody who knows the chief of staff, Julius, I know him personally, and I'm not going to be dishonest about it. I know him personally. If there's one thing that he's very, very, very particular about, if there's anything that really gets him angry or gets him very, very uncomfortable, is when you appear to disrespect somebody. You know, by his very nature, he's a very respectful person. Whether you're younger than him, you're older than him, it's something that gets him worked up if there's any semblance of disrespect. You know, and so and again, he's real. He's to say what you see is what you get. You know, he doesn't pretend. If he likes you, he likes you. If he doesn't like you, he lets you know he doesn't like you. So, and I will be very surprised if the chief of staff, okay, with all the government machinery around him, okay, with the status, both political and social status that he has. I mean, I don't know whether you were the one who said it.
I said it.
Businessman, he's been a politician for almost all his life and so on. You would need to be deliberate about, or you would have to go and feign, you know, shedding tears in order to achieve a certain outcome. You know, I will be very surprised if he would do that. But what I do know about him is that he is very, very particular about, you know, respecting people. Do you know, he's something that he doesn't take lightly at all. And I'm saying that it's only been made worse by the fact that this one is personal to him. It's like you've insulted, well, you've attacked my father, or you've attacked my mother. It's very personal to him. And that's why he shed those tears. And that's why I say we are sorry. You know, now the other issues about whether that apology actually is the official position of the government is a legitimate question. Other question is that what does the government intend to do going forward? Are they going to write an apology? Are they going to write a letter to Dr. Mary Awusi to say, look, you know, she misspoke, but we are sorry? Or government will I don't know. But what is the government's own position on this matter? Perhaps, if there was such a position, I'm sure that Julius would have expressed it. Remember, the president himself was there. If there was any such position, I'm sure that the president himself would have said it. You know. But again, you said it. When you watch the video itself carefully, there's also a bit of an exaggeration. Of course, when you say that as a man of God, you are saying something today, yesterday you didn't say it. And that when you behave like that, it creates a certain impression as though you are now sounding political and not as a man of God. I disagree with her, but I'm saying that when she expresses that opinion, okay, in reaction to the opinion that he also expressed, because as you said, when a man of God makes a statement that creates a certain impression as though the problem we're witnessing today just started yesterday, you have every reason to say, oh, but what were you yesterday? Even though I don't think it matters. Okay, but of course you have the right to ask, where were you yesterday? I think is irrelevant. Whether what happened yesterday was good or bad and what's happening for me is irrelevant. The thing is, what is the problem today? Worse, has it gotten worse or it's gotten better? That is what we need. That's the question we need to answer. And if it's gotten worse, what's the worst? Why hasn't it gotten worse? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm saying that anybody who knows Julius will tell you that what he did on Sunday is a typical Julius where he doesn't play with relationships. You know, he takes relationship and loyalty very, very seriously. And if there's anything that can get him emotional, is when you attack people to the point where the people you attack him and he feels it's undeserved.
Moro.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's, for me, are the kinds of things that whilst we're analyzing this issue, we must also have at the back of our mind.
Yeah. Dr. Ida.
You know, and that's why, you see, and that's why people like him. You saw the kinds of people who went there because they say, they say it in Chi. Look, Julius Debra. I'm much younger than he is. Probably 12 years older than me because I'm only 48. I turned 48 on Saturday. He didn't call me to wish me happy birthday.
I didn't know.
But when I call him, you know how he calls me? He says, yes, sir. How? You know, he calls me captain or he calls me big brother. I'm saying, oh, you are the big brother. So he takes these things very personally. You understand? And that's why people like him. They'll tell you he's accessible, he's humble, you know, and he's also somebody who's very generous. And the president, as the president himself said, he's very efficient as well. So you can talk about all these values. And one of the things you cannot take away from him is respect for people.
That is important. Because if you respect, obviously,
You'll be respected.
Yes, you equally be respected.
He's an incredibly respectful person.
You see,
very.
This morning you have eulogized, you know.
Julius.
Julius.
No, he's my very good friend.
Yeah, you have eulogized.
But I'm not saying this just because he's my friend.
No, don't worry.
This is quite an objective analysis.
No, you're right.
Your objective.
I have known him since 2006 as my friend.
That is
since
why
2006.
he's spoken highly of him. I can't say certain things in public. But that aside, you see, this emotional outburst that he put out there.
Yeah.
Do you know they can use it out of context against him in the near future?
Possibly.
So that is why you need to be strategic when you are communicating. When they want to undo you, they will cut that part. You will struggle to go and explain.
I agree with you.
And then they will say, this person, he said he wants to be this, and look at this. That. You see, so you have to be very strategic. But I like his sincerity about what he's done. And I like your sincere analysis, you know, and praiseworthy of him as well. Of course, if the person is good, there's nothing else you can do but to say and admit to that particular fact. So for me, I think I have given a balanced perspective of the three.
And in all of this, Doc, and see, I don't know whether you have something else to say, but in all of this,
I have something to say.
We must also have it at the back of our minds that, you see, this apology he's rendered, never mind how he did it. Of course, opinions are divided. I mean, people can agree with the fact that he shed tears and so on, or disagree, which is fine. But in all of this, this is actually the first time, apart from Dr. Mary Awusi's own apology, which itself you can subject to all kinds of scrutiny, because there was some kind of a conditional clause to that apology, that if some people feel...
Well, Moro, before, I don't want to cut him, but I want to say something.
Okay.
We've seen the Catholic Bishop Conference,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Methodist and all those people.
Yes.
They've all spoken about Galamsey.
Yes.
But that has not elicited such a response.
Right.
So why is it the apostles?
You know why? Because I think and I suspect that, it's not even I think or suspect. You see, in Mary Awusi's view, Dr. Apostle Nyameche was doing politics.
That is how she preconditioned
that he was doing politics.
a response.
Even though she says she would forgive him because he's a man of God. But then, if it continues, that it means that now he's jumped into the political fray, and so we'll talk to him as a politician. Also, we'll deal with him as a politician. Do you understand what I'm saying? I suspect she feels that he was, not suspect, but quite clearly, she thinks he was doing politics, and that's why she got upset.
Moro, there are two things that I think doctors...
But in all of this, sorry, before you come, in all of this, apart from Mary Awusi, who rendered an apology, he is the first senior government official as a chief of staff who has come out to say, we are sorry.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's official or not, as Ben said, is an entirely different conversation we can have. But this is the chief of staff of the Republic of Ghana who has come to say that
very instructive.
Our colleague has said something, she slipped, and we are sorry.
Yeah, it's very instructive.
You know, and look, let's not underestimate the impact of what he said.
Yes.
If there's somebody who is a follower of, or who is a member of the Pentecostal church, who was angry because of what Mary Awusi had said, Mary Awusi's apology may not even carry as much weight as what the chief of staff has said, because the chief of staff statement can equally be, somebody can argue that actually reflects what the president also wants to say, or the president's position on the matter, and for that matter, the whole government, the whole government machinery. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's not underestimate the impact of what the chief of staff has done.
Because the government cannot be seen to be opposed to the fight against Galamsey.
No, hell no.
It cannot be seen.
That's
so if the chief of staff has spoken in that manner, I don't think that you can isolate that from government.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's primus inter pares.
Yeah.
I beg to differ.
You beg
on
to differ,
this,
which is
because
fine.
I think that government communication or government releasing a statement on this subject matter will bring finality to this kind of apology, and also instructing some form of punishment, if that may be, to this lady who misspoke or who had a slip of tongue. Now, there are issues I want to address. I think that Doctor kept referring to Dr. Nyamiche as a board member of National Cathedral.
Was a board chair.
Board chair. I think it is Professor Onyina. Dr. Onyina, yes. So it's not. Okay. It's not. Dr.
Oh yeah,
Nyamiche, so
that's true. That's true.
They look alike, though.
So you see, like what happened with respect to that lady's commentary is because of that perception created about the man.
Right.
Now, when you create a negative perception of somebody, regardless of what the person says, you see them negative. And when Doctor was trying to say that there's some form of cynicism in his comment, I found it very difficult to see that cynic comment from the pastor.
Okay.
Because one, the pastor didn't give time. So even though he said that he gave the commentary this year at a program organized by the Church of Pentecost, right? The program didn't give a timeline in which he said that some communities, it could have been 2024, it could have been 2025, it could have even been 2026. And he said some communities, he didn't generalize.
That's true.
Right? So the issue of the pastor having some cynical comments or maybe behaving as if he's on the other side also is something that I think we need to address. Now, with respect to the insincere apology of the chief of staff, I think I'm happy Doctor just made my commentary quite easier. He made something very profound in his argument that politicians mostly take advantage or opportunity to launch whatever strategy are some of these events, right?
Okay.
So we all know Pentecost has a population of about 4 million.
Okay.
All right?
Right.
So making such a comment backed by a behavioral change to express certain emotions will likely cost 1 million for you.
Right.
So it is just an opportunity that the man saw and took advantage of that.
Right.
If he had wanted to apologize, it would have come even Friday or immediately the lady did the slip as he claims.
Right.
And not at your birthday where we are all thinking of celebrating, then you begin to cry. I think that it also brings some kind of spiritual negativity around his birthday. Right?
He chose the time that, in his view, would be more impactful. That is politics.
No. You see, more impactful on his behalf.
Well,
yes, on his behalf. Because you just mentioned that opportunity on his behalf.
Okay.
Right? And I think that his comments, even though you argue he's an honest man, I'm yet to know him detailed as you do.
Right.
So sometimes Moro also makes some of your commentary around this subject quite because you know him too well.
That's true.
Right.
That's
so
true.
I think that a further apology must come from the government and also an instruction penalizing the lady because politicians are not expected to behave the way she did.
All right. So, gentlemen, I want us to move to.
I disagree. I think that it is okay. That she's come out to render an apology.
Right.
You see, it is okay, but asking for.
But I agree that apology could have been rendered by Dr. Awusi in a better way.
Well,
yes, I went to Accra FM. I made certain comments about the Reverend Apostle, blah 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 blah. I'm sorry for what I said.
Yeah, but she preconditioned.
That you forgive me.
Of course, sometimes when you say something, you may not be aware that you've misspoken. It is the bashing that will come out that will draw your attention that you misspoke. And so, if the generality are saying that you misspoke, what do you have to do? You have to man up, woman up, and apologize, and that's what she's done.
Okay.
Preceding his apology with if clauses and so forth, that for me was not, warranted.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think it should be.
Yes.
It
All right.
should
So
suffer
let's move to some other issue which borders more on bread and butter, and it borders more on bread and butter because we do know that electricity is at the heart of everything we do. Without power, we can't survive. We'll struggle.
PENDREAM TV now so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.